You're such an asshole.
Continuing to bang out the GDP at Asshole Consulting. Soon, someday, Asshole Consulting will be so big, it'll have like an entire industry on the national income production accounts. It'll be called Asshole Industry. I'll make billions. I'm a recent college graduate. I moved home after graduation and took a commission-based job with a commercial real estate company. I hated it. I made no money and wasted a bunch of time. I broke my back working 3 part-time jobs for 9 months so I could get the fuck out of my hometown. I majored in communications from a great top... No, it doesn't matter. You can just stop right there. I majored in communications, which means I done gone fucked up. Good. At a great top 20 university in the United States. Oh, okay, you wasted... There was a gal who was telling me, nice girl. And I looked and couldn't tell, but she seemed to be working hard, had something different about her. I said, are you in school? Or because she said, oh, I'm a senior in high school. I said, oh, well, what are you majoring in if you're going to go to college? She says, well, I'm majoring in nursing. I said, oh, good. She's like, and I already have a year done because I was taking classes at the local community college. It's like my kid come true. It'd be like, this is what my kid would say. And I'm like, good for you. And I said, nursing's a good degree. She's like, I know, I have a friend. She went to Harvard and majored in English. And she's like, what a waste. It's like, yes, you get it. Who are your parents? Let's clone them. Problem, I have no hard skills. I'm tired of saying that my strengths are interpersonal skills and work ethic. You're learning. All my parents could tell me is to go to law school or an MBA. No. Even if they paid for it, no. It's not worth your time. I quit and moved to Saigon, Vietnam to become an English teacher. This is short term. I'm ready to go full force into something, but I don't know what the fuck to do. I want to do a working holiday visa in Australia to work in construction, commercial fishing, or the mines. Something where I could get dirt on my hands and feel alive. This is great. This sounds good, kid. I'll save up a bunch of cash, move on from there. Long term, I want to be self-employed, financially strong, and answer to no one. I also love writing, so I could build on that too. Look, normally I say young people shouldn't even bother writing books, but you go out and bust your ass out into the field, be it Australia or traveling around Vietnam or going to Laos or you're going to build up experience and interesting stories and observation and a reputation. You're going to work this thing to view things in the world that normies, conformies, and inferiors are stuck sitting looking at a computer screen at a cue ball. Do you know that commercial real estate office you work for? Yeah, those guys, their brains are stuck on the computer, and they're not evolving or creating or getting new insights. You go down this path, you will. Obviously, you're not going to make a ton of money. Maybe you will in commercial fishing or the mines, but you will. This will become a much more interesting brain, and then down the road you can write because you'll write much more interesting things. What should I do with a worthless degree and a mediocre GP? Nothing. That's toilet paper. Use toilet paper. And toilet paper has more value than your communications degree because you actually use your toilet paper for something. And used toilet paper, I guess, could even be used for fertilization. Your communications degree is 100% completely fucking worthless. It's a joke. I mean, put it on there on your resume so they know what you were doing for the first 4 years. But I would not bother putting critical thinking skills or interpersonal skills on your resume. Those aren't things. People can do that without even having to go to college. What skills will help me achieve self-employment? I think you going and exploring and doing what you're doing right now. Look, the key to self-employment is you got to find a good idea that no one else found. Preferably with low startup costs. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they required startup costs. Those are asshole consulting, not to even put myself on their level, but no real startup costs. And it's an idea. That's what it is. It's an idea that nobody else has thought of. Perfect example. I know we all mock it and ridicule it, but let's consider this the home shopping networks or whatever. Like, hey, you see this thing? Look what it does. It fixes the crap out of this problem you have. You may mock and ridicule those ideas, but all it takes is one to hit and you're good to go. Slap chop. You guys remember Vinny? Beanie, Martini. Slap chop. All right? I'm presuming it made money. I don't know. My point is, a lot of entrepreneurial ideas are sitting there and waiting till you get annoyed. Say, God damn it, I hate it when this happens. Well, solve this. In the olden days, before you guys were alive, we had glass ketchup bottles. I'll go to this because it's so simple. And then somebody, after, 100 years said, hey, these glass bottles aren't exactly the easiest thing to work. What if we had plastic and we turned them upside down and it had big caps and it just went right down to the bottom? Oh! It's out there. Look for shit that annoys you and then come up with a problem to solve it. But always be creative. Now, how do you get creative minds? Well, I'm going to sit in front of the computer screen all day with my business degree from the Carlson School of Management, and I'm going to hit the keyboard and move spreadsheets around. You think that brain is going to go down different paths and go to different heights and look at life in different ways to come up with observations like, holy shit, if we do that and we do this, we got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. No, they just know how to do things slightly more efficiently because of some leadership seminar they took. So I think doing this right here, going and traveling and adventuring, is not only going to give you some real-world working experience that would help you become an author down the road and give you money. If you work in those fields, you're going to see a lot of different aspects of the economy, have a lot more insights than you would sitting at a computer screen looking at fucking spreadsheets. And then an idea will come. You'd be like, huh, it's a good idea. Now, two other things that would help. One is accounting. I'm not saying you have to go become a CPA, but you should learn how to read an income statement. You should learn how to do your taxes. You should learn to save your receipts, categorize your receipts and expenses, account for revenue, and put in an income statement. That would be one of the key things to do. Because that destroys like 70% of entrepreneurs. They just, accounting's boring. I leave that to the wife. And then wifey poo doesn't know how to do it either. So learn, don't take a class. Don't get a degree. Just go online, maybe get a book. The basic, and not even ledger accounting, unless you had to put together a balance sheet, which you're not going to. Just income statement accounting. Learn how to read an income statement and compile one. Not that hard. Shoebox, throw receipts in, categorize them, organize them, put them in a spreadsheet, you're done. Ship it off to your accountant. He'll take care of it. And then what other skills? Oh, another skill is like, inevitably, if you do decide you're going to go back to school, that could be for the trades or whatever, you need to have a skill that's in demand. Now, ideally, it would be in the world of computers and IT because that's cutting edge. Or perhaps medicine, but to go to medicine, you got to spend 8 to 10 years. I don't know if that's worth your life expectancy. But you want to go where the economy is evolving and advancing and growing and new ideas are being created. People who sit on there, I'm going to major in communications and become a teacher with my thumb up my ass. How do I want to become self-employed. If I had $1 for every female elementary school teacher that ended up going selling one of these multi-level marketing, at one time it was makeup, then it was wine, and it had, do you remember this? Like, this is almost 5-10 years ago where they had parties and they'd sell it. I gotta start my own business. That is not a fucking business. That is not a business. Well, that's where your education degree is going to get you, showing up in front of 8-year-olds all day, regurgitating the same shit you learned in the 2nd or 3rd grade about single-digit addition and subtraction. Maybe you get to your multiplication tables. All right, you work on the solar car racing team over at the U of M. You go work on the mines and learn the newest drilling technology. Your brain will be exposed to new stuff that's going to be on the cutting. Like, hey, if we did a different chemical on that, maybe this would kind of, and we get that, and oh, boom, you got yourself the new widget that Rio Tinto uses, and you're now pensioned off as a millionaire. So, if you want to get some kind of training or skill, I'd recommend the trades, IT. I don't know if it's worth going into medicine, but I know, keep your eye open when you're working these places. You know, commercial fish, there's opportunity to be made everywhere. But it's just, you're kind of doing what, you're going out into the world and adventuring and exploring. I'm full of energy, but don't know what the fuck to do. You're doing it. I know you think you have failed because of your worthless degree and you couldn't find a job with it. You haven't failed. You got to judge yourself by your peers. Everyone your age is failing. Everyone. When I was your age, I was failing. Still working as a security guard. I had a reasonably employable degree. And now you're doing what I wish I did. I wish I went over to Vietnam, because there's nothing for you here. There's nothing for you in the United States. I mean, there is, but you'd have to go and, go fish in Alaska, or go mine in Montana, or something like that, or go drill oil. You could do that here. But dude, you're doing exactly what every young man and woman should do, and that is you are going exploring and adventuring and figuring out where you belong in this world. And then you go down to, I'm fully for you hanging out in Australia. If you could get a work visa and go work in Australia, you absolutely should fucking do it. Absolutely. And then you hang out there 4 to 5 years. You're going to get some skills. You're going to get some insight. Maybe you come up with a business idea. And then you can always come back to the United States. And then even then, when did you graduate? You're recent. So you're what, at 23 at most? Let's say you wander in the desert for 5 years. You come back, you're 28. You could still join the military if you don't have any ideas. You could still go back to school. And then maybe you get a little bit of this touch of gray by the time you're 30 and people start taking you seriously then. But dude, you might as well fuck off during your 20s and have a good old time, because nobody takes you seriously. I got another video. Don't try until you're 35. No one takes you seriously. Unless you're in a very high in demand field, no one's going to take it, especially with a degree like that. So I'd be traveling around. I go to China, I go here, go there, work this job, work that job, become Mike Rowe, take whatever job, and then just wander about. Get yourself a motorcycle. Read, here's another one, read Irish Spring guy, Adam Piggott, Adam Floral Notes Piggott. Read his book, Pushing Rubber Downhill. Because he was in Australia and he just drove around on his motorcycle and did a ton. And that's, I don't know if you want to do that much adventuring, but he is a much more successful man today because of the adventuring and wandering in the desert and the mistakes he made back in his teens and 20s. Right? He did not plug himself back into the system in the machine and go get an MBA or law degree. He went forth and adventured. And now he's a much better off person for it today than if he did that. And so you're on the path of Adam Piggott. So that's, I'd be doing what you're doing. What else? Making decent money enough to travel. Need to go home for a friend's wedding and back in June. Contract is up in March. Backpack until I have to go home. Smart. I can work in Australia for at least a year, possibly 2, if I like and I'm making good money. Yeah, go work in Australia. I'll be open to learning a trade, but not sure about the military. The military might not, that's like your plan C. Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard. Let's consider becoming a pilot. No. You're not going to become a pilot. You can become a pilot on the side if someone pays for it, but you're not going to go into... Every young man wants to be, I'm going to become a pilot. I'm going to become a personal trainer. I'm going to become an EMT. You're like, okay, do you know anyone who made a lot of money doing that? Would you help explain what sorts of military jobs could translate to a skilled civilian job? IT, programming, cybersecurity. Mechanics, a lot of mechanics. Of course, you'd be working on helicopters, and maybe you work on helicopters without machine guns in the private sector world. No, we're good to go. So yeah, dude, you're doing it right. And just keep in mind, you're going to be looking back at your buddies, and your buddies are going to be making money, and they're going to have great careers, or seemingly great careers. They'll lie about it. And you're going to feel like you're falling behind. You are not falling behind. And the comment section below will be filled with a bunch of old farts like me, men in their 30s and 40s, who are going to tell you you are not falling behind, and either they did it themselves or they wish they did what you were doing. So you are on the right track. It's just, don't expect to, what the hell were you expecting with the communications degree? Didn't something in the back of your head say, like, I'm not going to be able to do anything with this? All right. You guys got questions, come talk to your older brother, old Cappy, over at assholeconsulting.com. Get the books, Bachelor Pad Economics, Enjoy the Decline, Curse with High IQ, and in this particular case, Reconnaissance. Man, that's a very good book pertinent to this video. And if you want, donate money, even though I don't need it, but I'll always take it. Actually, I underestimated my taxes. I got to pay more in. So if you want to help with my tax bill, please do go to patreon.com/Aaron and it'll go right to Uncle Sam. I won't even get to touch it. I might get to smell it as it goes off to Washington, D.C. So, all right, we'll see you guys later. Toodles.